Having an effective UI UX case study in a portfolio is very crucial as UI UX designers, mainly to get hired in top tier companies or securing a freelance job. Before we dive into this case study, I have curated in my Behance, which is completely fictional and which is solely made for teaching purposes. Let's get into the nuances of creating a case study first of all. The first things first, what are the do's and don'ts of creating a case study, right? So the first do is going to be, do keep the case study simple. If your case study can't be skimmed and still understood, then you've overcomplicated it. So when you design your case study, make sure to keep it very simple and very visually engaging. So the next don't is going to be, don't over explain your tools, be it Figma or Photoshop or Illustrator or whatever it is. You've created your design, but the sole purpose of the case study is not to showcase your design skills, but to showcase how you've managed to solve the problem that you're showcasing in your case study, right? So now let's get into the do. Do bring yourself into your work. See, as a designer myself, I give whatever I work at my all, my heart especially, because unless and until you don't give your personal touch in your work, it's not going to be 100% authentic. So if you want to make it stand out of the crowd, even if there are like a gazillion case studies out there, then you'll have to infuse your love and your personal touch to your work. Now I'm going to showcase the design process that it took for me to curate this case study. I did my research well, and before I could start designing, I definitely went into Behance or Dribble, or recently I found this website called Mobbin. So I went into these websites to understand what's actually trending in the design world. Okay, now moving on. The logo that I had designed for this project was mainly inspired by ice cream, obviously, because it's an ice cream project, and clouds. So there's this little snippet I recorded myself while doing the logo. So I sketched first and then I took it to Figma because I was more comfortable with Figma than Illustrator. For the fonts, I used Copyduck and Urbanist for the fonts. Mainly I used Copyduck is because, it gives a more playful and fun vibe. So this is obviously a rebranding of an ice cream parlor. I definitely want to attract a lot of kids, youth, teens, adults to the ice cream parlor from the online forums. So how would I do that? I would definitely do that by choosing this font. But for the main content, I definitely want to keep it simple, readable, modern, and eye-grabbing. So obviously I went for a more sans serif, modern, simple font, which is Urbanist, and it has a lot of variants too. Okay, before we get into the layouts, wireframes, let me give you a little backstory about Creme Cloud. Like I told you before, this is a completely fictional project only created for teaching purposes. Now what's the problem that I had solved in this project? Right. So the problem is that my aunt has an ice cream store in 4 locations in India, namely Bangalore, Chennai, Mumbai and Delhi. And they are doing significantly well in the offline stores but has no online presence at all. So she hands the online presence responsibility to me, right? So as a UI UX designer, what do? I come up with a website, and I also know a little bit about SEO, not completely, just a little. So I concentrated on creating a website first for this brand. I curated a color palette mainly with pink tones because, according to me, pink is a more playful, youthful, and eye grabbing color. Also, according to the color psychology of pink, it's used mainly for its safe connotations. Pink can also be used as a color of defiance, rebellion, and innovation. But I've used pink mainly because it expresses the youthfulness and creativity of the product. Now let's get into the wireframing. So I chose the mobile first UI approach because most of the users, they're definitely going to search for our ice cream parlor through their mobile phones only. Hardly anyone's gonna use a laptop to actually go and see our website, but it's not going to be neglected completely. It's just not going to be prioritized first. So this is the first look of Creme Cloud. I used the parallax effect for the prototype. Now these are the future concepts or roadmap to where this project is going to be headed to next. So obviously I'd be completing the mobile version screens that are supposed to be made, create a user journey out of this whole app, and also focus on the website UI of it. And after that, I'm going to use MERN stack development to develop this website, and I'm going to use React Native for the mobile version of it. And then I'm going to definitely focus on the SEO, Google ads, Instagram ads, social media influencing, and everything for this Creme Cloud project. But as for now, this is about it. Now let's talk about the case study essentials. So the first point I have for you here is the case study should tell a story, obviously. So whatever the problem is, how are you going to solve it? You have to answer these questions first. The how, the why, the what. So that's going to make up your entire case study story. So next one, you'll obviously have to engage the audience. Make sure to respond to the comments that come to your case study after you upload it up on Behance. I also did an article about this case study just so this project reaches out to a larger audience. And that's about it for this video. You know the drill as usual, like, share and subscribe. Also let me know in the comment section below on what topic related to UI UX design, graphic design, development you would like to hear. Until next time, tata.